Welcome back to Prime Cut Slices. I'm one of your hosts, Greg. This week we'll be talking about the new Superman trailer that just dropped, directed by James Gunn. And we're going to be asking the hard hitting questions. Is this the Superman we've been waiting for? Can he finally beat Batman in something other than a Twitter argument? Why does Lex Luthor look like he shops only at Evil Tech for his clothing? Joe, what are your thoughts?
A lot of thoughts. Wow, heavy introduction there. Well, what did you think about this trailer, Greg? First of all, hold on. Are you a Superman guy?
I guess I'm a comic book guy,
Yeah.
but Superman's he's overpowered as a comic book hero because he's one of the OGs.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I am a comic book guy as well, and I like some ideas of Superman, but he's almost uninteresting because he's so good
Same.
and powerful and like wholesome that you're like, well, what what I don't know. Okay. What's the flaw? Like there's no character flaws. I don't know. Mark, where are you on Superman? Are you a big Superman guy?
I'm a big Smallville guy. I grew
Oh,
up on
Smallville.
Smallville, and that honestly, it seems like it's like the soft version, but I think they did it really well, where it's more grounded, and he has like more weaknesses because he's kind of figuring out his powers. Um, I don't really think, like kind of like you said, they don't really show that in the movies. It's just like, oh, he's super powerful, and then someone gets kryptonite, and oh no, he's with Lex Luthor, and oh, he's gonna get him. In the show, you kind of see him learn his powers, and he's like figuring out how to control them. It's really good. You can still watch it on Hulu.
All right. So that's
I would move out of that town.
I would never leave.
Every week there's a villain that's got a huge populace of villains, and it's just not safe. That's all I'm saying.
Greg, what are your snap reactions to this trailer? So you said it's directed by James Gunn. Let's talk about just right off. You just watch it. What do you think?
I'm excited that James Gunn is directing it. I like the trailer. It's cinematic. I feel like DC flops more than it hits. They've got a lot of flops, a lot of movies done bad. They've got a lot of movies that have cool parts and movies that are bad as a whole. I think the best thing they've done was the original Wonder Woman movie. The second one, not so great.
The first movie is basically the first Captain America movie, though. Let's be straight.
Sure. It's like, that's what I think. I think Wonder Woman predates Captain America,
but the Captain America, the first Avenger, where he's like getting the super serum and he's fighting in World War II, they basically did that for the Wonder Woman movie. I thought, I was like, oh, I've already seen this Captain America movie. It is pretty good.
Insert the Wonder Woman theme song. Terrible.
Very
horrible.
It's very noticeable though.
Very. The Flash movies, I think, did. I just recently watched The Flash 2023. It's really good. I know Ezra Miller's got a lot of like shitty stuff going on, but I thought it was, dude. I think I didn't. I was in the same boat, and then Superman started coming out. No, dude. Old Batman comes back. Fucking Keaton comes back, and he comes back in like the half part of the movie, and it just like takes off. It's awesome.
I think people just wanted to see Keaton, and that was the chip DC was playing.
Hell
the
yeah!
Problem is, right. I don't. Here's what I like about what James Gunn is doing. First of all, I think we got to state James Gunn has taken over as the head of DC Studios, so he's effectively the Kevin Feige of Marvel. He is his mirror image. He is like in charge of. I think he's directing this movie. I believe he wrote it, but he is basically overseeing the entire DC portfolio. So all of the heroes, all the villains, everything that's going into DC, whether it's an HBO Max TV show like Creature Commandos, which came out earlier this year, or, Batman, the Brave and the Bold, which is apparently something that they're working on with a different Batman than Robert Pattinson. So like he is like regenerating DC Studios because they basically have been this fractured production company where they've got like, it's not cohesive. You have, the Nolan Batman, you have the Pattinson Batman, you had Man of Steel, like the Zack Snyder universe, which is like Henry Cavill as Superman, Jason Momoa as Aquaman, Ben Affleck as Batman.
mustache
Yeah, the
gate.
mustache thing where they had to
Unreal.
CGI. There are parts of that. So, for example, Man of Steel. I think, from what I understand, people that love Superman hate Man of Steel. There, to me, the most interesting part of Man of Steel was the General Zod character played by Michael Shannon, who I really think is a great actor. I thought that character was compelling. It speaks to a little bit of why Superman sometimes doesn't hit the mark for me, because the most interesting character in the movie was the villain for me.
That's fair. They kind of paint him pretty vanilla in a lot of the movies. They don't really give him much
Yeah,
personality. He's just like, I'm a guy. I'm
square
here for a
jawed,
mission. And I'm here to save the world.
all American. Now, this
Yeah.
movie, I'm with you, Greg. I am going to see this, and I'm cautiously optimistic, because I think James Gunn is like a true comic book head. He really gets it, and I think that the tone of this movie seems to be the right tone. I've heard like some stuff about like the colors. People don't like the colors. I think the colors look awesome, and I think they're totally different than the Snyder universe, which was like drab, dark, almost like Renaissance painting. That is not Superman. Superman is like bright, flashy 40s comic books to me.
In Metropolis, very bright, red, blue. I mean,
one thing that I'm a little nervous about, though, I gotta say, there's a lot of fucking people in this movie. Like, dude, I noticed there's a Green Lantern. I saw him. Yeah,
Nathan
I like
Fillion,
him.
though.
But
he's
like,
back.
You got Lex. We got Lois. Rachel Brosnahan playing Lois. Who's playing Lex Luthor? We should know him. Nicholas Hoult. He's good. I really like what he's been doing lately. I think he's good, and I think that's interesting. But it's almost like, do we have too many people in here? Like, who's the lady with the buzz saws on her hands? I don't know who that is. I saw Mr. Fantastic, who I do like.
We got Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, the Justice Gang will be there with Nathan Fillion. The girl that you're talking about, her name is Angela Spica. She can shapeshift into liquid, so that's why she had like the spinny things, and she can like make whatever. I think it's good though. I think what they need to do is this, right? Because DC has been so limited. Right? Any movie you can think of, even fucking Justice League, when they did that, it was just I don't even know who that main guy, the main bad guy was.
Steppenwolf.
But this one, they said, fuck it. Steppenwolf. This one, they said, fuck it. Let's just bring everyone, because they should. Because Peacemaker did the same thing in HBO. That is doing great. You don't even know who the hell those people are. The Suicide Squad movies, even though they weren't rated well, they did really good because of all the random fucking heroes.
Well, I think
Gunn
Gunn does a good job of like elevating. Like, he took Guardians of the Galaxy, which he's responsible for those movies. Those are like Q-list Marvel characters. Like, let's be honest. I knew who they were because I read comic books, but I wasn't like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 7. I know this. I just knew who Star-Lord was, right?
Yeah,
that's right. With Guardians of the Galaxy, that wasn't an A-lister, B-lister, C-lister. That's exactly right, Joe. They were like a Q list. Something that bugs me about this is that as if the comic book world of Superman didn't have enough villains, they're bringing in a made-up villain for this movie, and they're calling him Hammer of Barovia, and it reminds me of. I still got a bad taste left in my mouth from this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Instead of bringing in Bebop and Rocksteady, they bring in Tokar and Razor.
He kind of looked like the Juggernaut, though. You know,
that's a little bit what I'm like. All right, are we overplaying our hand here? And one of the things that I think, all right. I mean, this is like we could probably do a whole podcast on this, not just like a slice, but like at some point you realize that they're making these movies to make more of them. Like, they have to introduce all of these people because they want to make 15 of them, and they have to interconnect. And I get it from a studio standpoint, but sometimes it's like, guys, maybe just like, let's draw it back.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
That's what they've constantly been chasing, what Marvel did. And Marvel did it right with Iron Man.
Right.
And Iron Man, before that movie came out, I wouldn't have even said Iron Man was an A-list hero. I would have said that he was like a B-list.
He's lower than that even. I think he's probably like a D-list.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into comics, you knew who Iron Man was. Now he's definitely an
Right.
A-lister because of Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of him. But they did it slow and they did it right to where the build-up from Iron Man to the Avengers was almost a 10-year arc, which is
Yeah, but
crazy.
Greg, I gotta say, since Endgame, which I was really into the whole everything from like Iron Man, all of the solo movies to Infinity War and Endgame, I was like, this is really well done. Since then, I've been like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Well, because you stop caring, right? You've invested nearly 20 years or 15 years of your life watching the Avengers. Why would DC try to redo that? They're going to give us everything. They're going to say, here's
So
everything
you
on the
like
plate.
this?
Enjoy it, snack up. Yeah, dude, I fuck yeah, man. Give James Gunn the reins. Let him put whoever the hell he wants. We had Polka Dot Man in Suicide Squad too. Like we can just do
Yeah, but
whatever the
dude,
fuck we
why
want
do
at this
that?
point.
Why not say I'm going to
He's
make a really good movie?
what did they have to
Well,
lose?
I mean, they could just it could tank just like it tanked before. Why not say I'm
They had
making
nothing to
Superman?
lose.
It's going to be Superman. It's going to be Lois Lane. It's going to be Lex Luthor, and that's it.
We've seen it
Well,
before.
we've seen
We've
all
seen
these
it.
things before. That's the point.
This has got to be as far as movies go. I think this is the third or fourth iteration of a reboot for
Yeah,
Superman.
He's fighting a kaiju.
is that
So
great? I don't know.
Okay, let's talk about this trailer. Some things that I
Do
was
you like the
excited about.
Superman? Do you like this
Um,
guy? I think he looks really good.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think he's
Never heard
good.
of him.
Yeah.
I think he's
I like
in
him.
like he's been in some small things. I think he was like he's more of like a TV actor. I think I don't know. I don't. I'm not familiar with him, but I think he looks the.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm excited that they're bringing Superman's dog,
Crypto, yeah.
Crypto.
Dude, crypto's gonna go platinum, dude. You're gonna see fucking
But see,
Plushies
this is
Meta
why they're
out
everywhere.
of
doing
the
that.
ass.
See, some of this is like, all right,
Yes.
like
I mean, just like Groot, Groot's the
well, you
same
just
shit.
like Groot for one reason.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I do. You're not wrong. He's not wrong.
Go on, Greg. Go on.
So, as far the other thing about this trailer that caught my attention, and overall, this trailer looked good. But there's something that there's a scene about like a minute 26 into the trailer where it shows Superman about to fly, and it looks heavily
Oh, you mean he's not really
CGI'd for some
flying?
reason. No, like before he's even flying, like when he's just
Yeah.
standing there, his face looks really like it doesn't look right. Something looks funny about that scene.
Huh.
They're kind of getting ripped
See,
already
this is
for
the
it.
shit that I'm just like, fuck off, you nerds. It's not even out yet. Like, come on.
It's not out yet. I'm sure that there's gonna be. We're able to see shit in like
Right.
4K. It's probably not dusted up. But who knows? But you're not wrong to expect perfection when they've been working on this for who knows 3 years.
I
2
mean,
years.
Superman's easily the biggest A-list superhero in the world. Like,
Yeah.
who's a bigger
Oh,
superhero than
Batman.
him? And the next closest would be
Batman's better than
Batman.
Superman. I'm a Batman guy.
I'm not saying better. I'm not saying better or worse. I'm saying most
Superman's
well
the
known.
longest running. Yeah, he's the original superhero. The thing that I think is interesting is that here's what I want from superhero movies now. And I've heard good things about Thunderbolts, which I've not seen. I am
It's not even called
apparently it's
Thunderbolts.
New Avengers,
Apparently,
whatever. I am getting a little bit. I'm a little bit tired of origin story, learning the powers,
Don't want it. Don't need it.
huge CGI punch fest. I don't want to see
Don't
that.
need it.
I want so like when he's in this trailer, he's being interviewed by Lois Lane, played by Rachel Brosnahan, and she's like, kind of seems like she's being very critical of him for something that we don't know. We don't know what's happening. Apparently, there's something going on where she's like, well, did you consult the president for this? The Secretary of Defense is opening an investigation. He's like, I stopped the war. I did what I did because it was the right thing to do. That's what I want to see. I'm interested in that part of Superman. That gives me something, a wrinkle there where it's like, oh, it's not just, he's the Boy Scout who always wins. Sometimes that gets old. And I feel like maybe James Gunn is able to look for something else. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking.
they're giving him a personality, and they're giving them. You can already sense that the conversation between him and Lois Lane, it's like it's good banter. I don't think that's something that we got from any of the other Supermans where you want to hear them talk. I didn't really give a shit about the other Supermans and hearing any kind of stance that they had. It's just, I'm a good guy. Lex Luthor is trying to kill me, blah, blah, blah. This one, I think they're actually going to give him a little bit of a little something to stand on, a little something to fight.
Agreed. I agree with both of you. I think that we don't need the backstory. We don't need the origin story, but we do need character development. We do want to feel invested. We do want to have the dialogue. I would love it if Kevin Smith or Tarantino wrote the dialogue between people for a superhero movie. I would watch the shit out of that. But I'm with you on that.
It's so smart that they chose someone who's unknown because he can be Superman. You're going to look at this guy and you're going to be like, oh,
the audience have no
just
preconceived notions.
Like,
that's good. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. I mean, you had Robert Downey. I think a lot of people who didn't know who Robert Downey was, like the younger generation, even my generation. But when he became Iron Man, every time I saw Robert Downey, I was like, "That's fucking Iron Man."
That's
the same thing's probably.
That's what I hope they do with Wolverine. Give me somebody new. Don't give me Jeremy Allen White or something. I don't know. Seriously, I mean, it could be him.
That's fair.
Yeah,
hot take.
I like him, but I don't. Yeah, but I don't want him to be Jeremy Allen White.
As far as this trailer goes, Joe, what are your thoughts? Are you sold on this movie?
See it. I'm going to go see it. And it's leaning into the lore of Superman, which is for me the only real thing that attracts me to the character. I want the bright colors. I want him to be kind of answering questions about how good he is, because that is what is interesting. Otherwise, he's just a boring. To me, there's no spice. Leave that in.
God,
there's no spice. There's no spice. So I want that, and I'm in on this. I'm going to go see this. I'm definitely going to see this. I'm a little nervous about. I trust James Gunn. Look, if he's doing Batman Brave and the Bold, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. That's an awesome story. It's a Robin story as well. Like, if he's going zany with some of this stuff, cool. DC has way more of the weirdness that Marvel, I think, doesn't have. DC has that. A lot of their major heroes, aside from Batman, are gods. I mean, they're literally gods. Superman is always one thing. I think this is a Kevin Smith thing, Greg, that you're probably into. Superman is always Superman. He has to become Clark Kent. Whereas most other superheroes, they are turning into the superhero. They put on the cape and the cowl and they, or whatever. They get the special powers later. This is a guy who's always this, and he has to figure out how to be normal, which I think is kind of an interesting twist. I don't know. We'll see. It looks like it's hitting the right beats.
In the trailer, not to like spoil it, but the trailer does give off a lot of what's going to happen in this movie. There is a group called the Authority that is going to, you see them, they capture Superman, they hand him over to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor has kryptonite in this movie. You see Lex Luthor punch Superman in the face, and it hurts. So he's obviously going to be weakened. I think what they're going to do, I feel like it's going to be like a John Wick. This is kind of what my assumption is. My early assumption. It's going to be very John Wick. Lex Luthor's just going to find everyone in the fucking world to go and bring Superman to him or hunt him. I think that would be cool. I think that would be, if him facing some adversity, Lex Luthor's just handing out kryptonite like fucking Halloween candy. I'm down. I'm super down for this. I think it's going to be awesome.
I think I could beat Superman in a fight.
Okay. There we go.
Listen, all you need is a kryptonite ring and
a little bit of kryptonite.
Kryptonite, just slip it in his latte and he's cooked. Done. Superman done.
Taken out by Greg the barista.
Correct.
Unreal.
I'm going to go see this movie. Yeah, I'm into it. I like that James Gunn is doing it. I think that it looks better than the other ones so I got to be honest, some of the other trailers when they came out, I was like, I'm not
other
interested.
Superman trailers.
I'm good. Someone tell me if it's good. For the previous movies,
like the Snyderverse stuff. Yeah, man.
Correct. Yeah, Snyder runs.
He has Snyder. A different. I think he has a different take on Superman. I also think he's a very visual director who doesn't necessarily have a lot of story and character to his style. He is much more of like a painterly style. He's like looking at it from the lens of like, what is this going to look like? And he wants, the bulging muscles and he wants it to look like a Renaissance painting. And that's fine. I just don't think that it was so dark, and not dark like in tone, but like the color palette was like gray, black.
Also visually.
Yeah,
I saw it in black and white in 4K. It's beautiful.
He's a visually talented guy, man.
Gloom fest. Yeah, it's a 3-hour gloomy ass movie.
So I don't know. I think we're all excited.
I watched it. I watched that one on an airplane. I was like, "What is going on? I can't see anything in this little screen."
Not a surprise.
Maybe I didn't watch it in the best way.
I do think it's a big risk that they're doing it this way, though. If I was them, I would have said, "Hey, James, take this movie. Let's see what you can do. And if it's good, you're going to be the studio guy. But if this movie nosedives, they're kind of screwed, guys. Like Mark, if this movie comes out and no one likes it,
nothing to lose.
If it gets 30% on Rotten Tomatoes and people are like, this guy sucks, I hate this Superman, it's stupid, why do they have the dog in this? There's too many bad guys. Now your whole studio that you've built out is like, we're not on great footing here. So it's risky. We'll see if they do it.
They're not going to stop.
They won't stop.
They didn't stop before. They
clearly made a change.
DC's put out flop after flop.
They clearly made a change because they want to be in competition. They want to build a world. They want to make this a linkage between these movies, and they really need this one to work. So we'll see how it goes. It needs to work.
I believe in James Gunn, like, wholeheartedly. I would give that man $500 million to create whatever Superman he wanted.
He has, I think, Final Cut.
It's going to do
we'll see. It has the number one. It has like the big summer weekend. I think it's July 11th or 17th or something, which is like the big. That is like the flagpole tentpole weekend. We'll see. I mean, I think those movies. I think we'll see. You know what was interesting about Sinners was that it did a pretty good job. It opened pretty well, right? This first weekend box office was pretty strong. The thing that you want to see apparently is that it sustain that run through the next coming week. So it's like, hey, we opened with $50 million and then the next weekend it was like $6 million. That means people were like, this movie sucked, don't go see it. But if it's like 50 million, 60 million, 70 million, it's like climbing or plateauing, then you're like, oh, this is working. So it's got to do that or else DC's in trouble, I think, before they really get started.
It's rare for movies to climb from the second weekend.
Yeah, they need to sustain. We're going to see. I'm going to go see it. It looks cool. I'll see it. And I'm not even a Superman guy.
Any final thoughts on this one, boys?
No, we're excited. We're going to go see it.
I think we're going to get 20 more years of James Gunn, Superman, Lois Lane. Lex Luthor's going to grow hair in 5 years in Superman 2. I'm so excited. I'm so ready.
I'm in on this.
Yeah, we're in. Let us know. Put it in the comments if you're into this. Right? Isn't that what you're supposed to say?
Yeah, if we said something wrong, just talk shit to us. We don't care. Just let us know. All right. Bye.